I'm also rolling. Welcome, cadets and commanders, to the STABcast, the Sunsphere Tactical Attack Brigade's Star Wars Legion podcast. I'm Ryan, gone are my contingencies, Slowoski, with Ben going the way of rolling 5 black dice to decide blue player Fowler, and Tim is no longer Flawed Hannon. Will is too busy picking his loadouts that he'll never ever get to use again. Heim could not join us for, analysis paralysis reasons, I guess. Do we need to open with a moment of silence for Biston? Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's true. Mm. Mm. I might. We'll see. I'll get both files and we'll see what plays better. Yeah, that's all right. It'll make our blooper reel if nothing else. Yeah, could be. Because I mean, we're day late, dollar short to the news party of all this. Nothing we're about to say is going to shock, surprise, or alarm anyone. So, sm- yeah, that's true. We're gonna get a ton of stuff wrong. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. But as everything that is changing, some things stay the same. Go ahead, Ben. Tell the people. Just saying you could have called me. I would have been there. I know. Coward. Hey, I would have bailed on Richard. I would have second monitored you. You'd have been fine. Yeah, I would have done just as well in Civ 7. So no, it's true. Yeah, the fake Discord. Oh, you 100% did. Yeah, yeah. It's not hard to ring his bell. I'm pretty sure he could probably beat y'all with the same list at the same time. Yeah, yeah. Y'all don't know how the objectives work. We hold on. I'm going to mock you because we literally spent the last 90 minutes going over a bunch of changes with you where you're like, I didn't know this thing that's been in this game the entire time for 3 years has been a thing. When did this get updated? This is new. Yeah, I know. I it does look good. Game of the Middle Kingdom. Well done. Right. That's rad, yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Doug, come to Rocky Tap. Oh, is he cool? All right. I know we have a contingency coming down from your neck of the woods that does not include you. Well, all right. Well, yeah. Well, 3 years in a row. Are you are you in at Disney World either 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after within that 4 5 weekend span? All right. Are you at Disney World within 1 week either direction? Not two. Let's. Are you at Disney World that weekend? Okay. All right. Glad we used our journalistic tools to ferret that out. Darks are Dark Troopers are good. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm. There's an extra bit we're missing. Yeah. The destroy enemy base is the secondary. Bunker assault is the primary. Yeah, yeah. Oh, really? Okay. it's I sure it. It's one of the secondaries that can swing really hard to one style of list over another, for sure. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Sure. Mm-hmm. And do you put your recon tokens on your tanks so you like don't have to worry about securing with them? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Right. Hell yeah. Has has Armor 5 made a difference at all to you, or is it pretty much still just like Armor Infinite? I've not played like a ton of Armor 5 stuff. I've played like one or two games with the bus. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They can pump out a ton of dice. But they're not armor. I don't think they're armor 5. I think they're like armor 3. But yeah, yeah. I gotcha. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Sure. Right. Okay. Right. Sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it helps. Yeah, they're still 6 health but they have the red save now, which is dope. Yeah, they can take a punch for sure. I mean, it's this. Yeah, that is. They are more defensive than a clone squad, although you don't get cover rolls on them. But their offensive output, depending on how you've got them kitted. I know the popular thing right now is the 3-die laser is probably quite a bit lower outside of shooting armored units. So. hmm And I also want to throw out there everything that we are saying um, disregards the fact that sleeper cells exist because uh, yeah. Turns out we were right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Nice. I oh wow. Oh, well, that's funny. Ben, how are we doing on getting our TikTok dances up and running? Then then what are you doing with all those videos you asked me to send you? I am so glad I have this on audio. Yeah, I did see that. Man, you are really getting the. I'm going to step up to the plate. I never do this to defend Will for once. You are really beating that joke for all it's worth. Anytime anyone brings up painting or Black Suns, you got to throw that in my boy Will's face. Whatever it, it it's gonna be a combination of Ben painting, uh, viral dances that we get Eric to do at Rocky Top, and bow tie tutorials. I imagine. I've, no, we're good. I've been. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Readings for losers, guys. Oh, I got for the update. I muted my Discord because it was like first second week on the job. I know, and I muted Discord servers where I knew all of the Legion news would drop. But holy cow, when I opened my phone up, all the people that DM'd me to tell me that Biston was dead. Um, to take my shoelaces, to do quality of, to do signs of life help. And then when I actually got home to my Discord proper, the amount of notifications I've never had that many. Jesus, people, slow down. Yeah, it's true. You can find us places. If you want to support us, you can do so at teespring.com/stores/stabcast or drop us a line at swstabcast@gmail.com. And I also want to shout out legionevents.app. I'm trying to get everybody who we shout out on the show to really make it. It's a cool tool that not everybody is using yet to be able to find Legion tournaments in any date range anywhere on the whole planet. So yes, but yeah, let's talk about let's rapid fire some tournaments to get to the goods that people want. Yep. Right. You leave Four Loco out of this. uh, and then just this little shindig, May 24 and 25 in Knoxville, Tennessee, is a Rocky Top Game Con Memorial Day weekend. We're playing games, pickup games on Friday, and then we are having a 2-day 5-round event on Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be rad. Y'all should come down. We have a few tickets left. Our ticket sales have slowed, people, so pick it up. My organizer's like, hey, can we steal some tables? Ticket sales have slowed. I mean, we're up to like I think we're above like 45. But let's sell. I think we can sell this bad boy out. So if you're on the fence, come on down. It's gonna be a rad time. Our prize table, I'm about to make some announcements this weekend about it, is going to be legit. I'm super excited for some stuff we've got to give away and shout out. And it's yeah, absolutely there is. Absolutely. I think I think we are. I don't no Crucible. I'd have to check. I think we might have been bigger than Crucible. Um, we can check. I'm not sure. It was close if it wasn't. Um, I don't have Orlando, so the fact that we're even like putting up a fight out of Knoxville. I said Orlando. Like I was talking about the scabies you get downtown, not the amusement parks. Mm, it's true. It's true. Oh man, that was the best part of Worlds. Is just smoking cigars with JJ on the porch every night. It was great. And then coming up in June 13th and 14th, that is a Friday and Saturday tournament. If you can swing it during the summer, up in Indy is the Indy Open in South Indianapolis, put on by the Indy Garrison. That tournament is rad. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make it since it is on a Friday, Saturday, but I may try to poke my way up there on the Saturday and see what's going on. So you don't hold on, Mr. School Teacher. You don't have an excuse. Yeah, I don't believe it. Fake news. Um, that's a you problem. That's a you problem. At the convention center. Yeah, it's a rad venue. It's true. It's true. It's true. We actually on the Tennessee Volunteer Legion Discord, we just put up a channel for a West Tennessee store. So the scene is growing. The cartel their cartel is growing. Yep. Yep. Seems God has not entirely forgotten West Tennessee. All right, you say hold on. You say that I am gonna say I looked at the Bass Pro Shop that is the Pyramid. There is a resort there. I may have sent some room inquiries to see how much conference rooms are there to host a Legion tournament. No, it is 100% a Bass Pro Shop now. It is a giant pyramid. Nope. So if you have any interest in maybe playing Legion and overlooking a sporting goods store with an aquarium in it, let me know and we'll run some numbers. Wow. I'm gonna be at Gen Con. I think I'm the only loser going. July 31st through August 3rd. Don't know if I'm playing Legion yet. Time will tell. Um, I mean, Gen Con's gonna be interesting this year with all the as the board game industry is going through some turmoil. We'll see what Gen Con looks like. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Falling apart. Absolutely. Luckily, I've only been hit by one of them. But we'll see. Maybe. But Gen Con's going to be rad. I'll be there. We'll eat some Pearl Street pizza. It'll be a great time. Yeah. You can do everything else. Yep. I mean, that was last year. Yeah. Yep. We don't. Yeah. That's why we kicked him off the show tonight. It's QuestCon with AKA the Crucible in Orlando, September 19th through the 21st. It's gonna be rad. I'm gonna be there. Ben's 50-50 gonna be there. Yeah. Except for that one game that I seemingly don't remember and have been blocked from my memory. Only a known arsonist would do that. Hmm. Oh, nice. There you go. I'm gonna see if I can swing it, but it's gonna be with Crucible. It's gonna be real tricky. And then yeah, we've got the 2025 3 foot good brawl 32 man Lovis qualifier event. It's $25 day of. I want to say they're Longshanks was already like on a wait list, which is crazy. It's gonna be in biggest event in Iowa on October the 25th. They're gonna have a bounty board, some grab bag prizes, all kinds of cool stuff. The 3 Foot Good guys are awesome, dear friends of the show, and one day I will make it out to Iowa. Maybe, probably not, but we'll see. We'll try. I've played Legion in stranger places. It's true. I mean, I played Legion at a horse race track, so that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah. No, we've stalled the goods long enough. We got news. You guys all know it already. We're not going to go through it line by line. We're going to probably hit some highlights of some stuff that we think is some big swings, and get, I'm going to say, a solid 20% of it wrong. And yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do the bad news first. Yeah, yep. Let's be real. Hmm. Here, I think, yeah, yep, yeah. We'll get there. Right. Can I give you my super cynical take on IRG that I don't actually believe to be true? If y'all Imperial players would have bought more Riot Troopers, then they wouldn't have taken them away. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you would have bought more of them, then maybe they wouldn't have taken away. Now they're gonna make you buy Riot Troopers by removing their comparison. Here's the thing. I don't want to, with all of these removals, there has been talk about, you know, Lucasfilm or Disney or whoever said this thing, or it was a design goal. Like, no one has, I don't think, a particularly clear answer on why these things were removed, reworked, taken away, whatever you want to call it. I think it is safe to say that it sucks for everybody that was affected. It sucks. Um, mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. It was cool. It was cool. I mean, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's pretty likely. Yeah. Yeah. We know nothing. No, I mean, Palpatine has been pretty. He's been more popular in 2.6 than he had been probably in the last 9 months of the pre 2.6 stuff. So it was cool to. Yeah, I don't even want to entertain that conversation because we don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because here's the yeah, Church of Biston is strong. This affected us, well, me particularly. Um, and yeah, absolutely. And I will say, like, if you we all agree that sleepers are probably overtuned. Um, Commandos, I would say, are probably a touch undertuned. I think they could maybe use like a little bit of either probably just a points cut or some way to help them stay alive a little bit better. Pathfinders for me felt like the Rebel Special Forces, like the best balanced unit. It did something in Rebels that like Rebels really couldn't do otherwise. It gave us some reliable ion. It gave us range 4 poke with some interesting defensive tech, and they were a skill unit because they are really obnoxious if you can keep them alive, or they can just get one shot right off the table. Um, and I don't get why they went away. They filled such a unique role. Yeah, yeah, man. I don't get it. Yeah, and especially with like sleepers being a special forces and not a support, like they're kind of counterpoints in the clone commandos and range troopers were. Um, it's super weird because I want to say in one of the interviews they said it was like a bloated spot and too much competition, but like they did something. The Paths did something like super unique and super cool, and they weren't. You talked about it. Yeah. No, Wookiees are. I mean, you only take Wookiees and Rebels right now to yeet them out of a bus, but I think Mandos and potentially Sleepers just do that better for cheaper. So, um, Mando's got a band aid, and we'll get to that when we talk about the Rebel stuff. They got a band aid for a bullet wound, but but yeah, for the removed units, Pathfinders don't make any sense to me. I'm biased, sure, but they were a fun, unique unit, um, and I don't think any of yeah, yeah, and it's not like they took anything away from the game. Like they removed some stuff, but they didn't take away anything that Pathfinders had. Like a bunch of things lost danger sense, but it didn't go away entirely. Um, and they didn't have like loadout, which got nixed. They obviously weren't flawed. It's weird. I don't know. And then Robert, your generic super tech. Yeah, and yeah, and I think we can lump him in with all of the generics that got replaced or got removed. Because this isn't in our notes here, but the rebel officer, the clone commander, the imperial officer, all got taken out. The individual generic commanders, but not the T series, which was very strange. Yet, which is yeah, which is cool. I'm not sure why they didn't remove them. Like say that hey, we're going to remove these when this replacement product comes out. And kind of to your point about Palp maybe getting cut up and some of the Imperial High Command guys doing similar things. Why not leave him in the game? You don't update him. Just leave him in the game till those new things come out so that pull the strings, hole in your heart isn't you left empty. I don't know. Here, yeah, and I think it hurts less for the generic commanders. Obviously, it hurts for list building, but you can still use those miniatures as your squad leader upgrades. Like those pieces still have a place within the game. While IRG and Pelp are just gonzos. And I think there was like some throwaway comment made of like, oh, your Pathfinders can just be like rebel troopers now. That's a super disrespectful. But I guess you can be this other thing. So you can still legally use them. Um, but I will say, and we'll move on from this. This to me is spooky because you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Like, no, I guess what I mean by that is like they've shown that this is a thing that can happen and that might happen. And is that going to live in the back of our heads when we buy new product? Probably not. But one of the reasons I really liked X-Wing and I really liked, I'm not going to say FFG and AMG, but like the Asmodee games is like this isn't a thing we had really seen. This isn't a thing they had really done much until now. And I know it's commonplace in Games Workshop games, but I really liked that wasn't a thing that happens. I no, but yeah, I agree that it does happen in other games. One of the things I really liked is that it didn't seem to happen here. And like we just talked about, if it was those other games do it for competitive balancing, these were not the units that were the meta problems. None of them. Yeah. um. Yeah. Yep. Um. And I guess the it's just so odd. Yeah. I think no one is particularly happy about this. Yeah. Yep. No one cares. That and we all know that wasn't a loss. Yeah. Yeah, because they even kept their generic clone commander, which is pretty wild. Um, I mean, we do know if we've been around long enough, we know the AMG devs. They have said multiple times that Republic is their favorite faction, and it kind of shows. So it's the other thing I want to touch on, and we can kind of move from here. Is they did come out and say there are this is not their big points rebalance. Not a lot of points changed. In fact, I don't think they advertise. One, maybe two. I could have sworn the T-47 used to be a little more expensive. Uh, yeah, but they also said that about and then the range troopers changed. Um, I agree. I agree. So yeah, nobody. So yeah, no big points updates, and man, just AMG was I thought doing so much better with communication. This would have been a great because I went into the update thinking this was our points update, um, and I think a lot of members of the community kind of thought that as well, and they never pushed back, and they had a perfect opportunity at Adepticon to say like, hey, we got this update coming up in a couple weeks. It's not gonna include a lot of points. Just as a heads up, it's mostly gonna be artwork and getting everything ready to be on par with our uh, our new core sets, which is cool and rad. But I think the way we found that out really sucked because they could have given us all of this good news and then said, "Hey, by the way, in a couple weeks, don't expect this thing." And I think it would have stung less. All right. Um, I also probably, yeah, yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I liked contingency as a mechanic. I wish they actually. Well, yeah, I think they should have put it way more places. Absolutely, way more places. Makes me. I'm not either. I liked it, but I think I was like one of like four people that actually like when I would submit my Cassian list included loadout cards. Yeah, I think that's fine. I like moving all of them to instead of some of them on command cards and some of them on upgrade cards. I do like the consistency. It sucks you can't really do like the super double flamethrower of Destiny, but for consistency, it's probably a good thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 5 rounds. It's on a die roll, which AMG has shown that they're not afraid to put cool abilities behind dice rolls, like example Grogu and the Marksman and the Amban. So it does seem a little strange. I would have maybe once made it an action if you thought it was too strong, so the bus can try to regen its shields um, instead of just doing it for free. I don't know that anybody was abusing it. It's weird. I'm not mad that it's gone because I think very few places actually used it. It's just weird. Um, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that was a weird loophole that needed to be closed anyway. Um, yeah, most of the generic stuff that went away like makes perfect sense why it went away. Um, with the way like issuing orders works now at unlimited range. The yeah, there's that's the one weird one. Yeah, aggressive tactics. No, I think it was a little strong in Republic with all the coordinate and direct that they have. Like they can easily get a lot of orders out. I don't know. I don't hate to see it go. Yeah, four is a lot when when any of your nearby units can use them. Yeah, yeah, yep. So it was it was one of those cards that was either completely worthless or far too strong, in my opinion. And and I do think we are seeing more more ways to get surge tokens out via other abilities, command cards, unit leaders that provide surges. So maybe we didn't need because when that card first came out, it was one of the main ways to get surges on the table. Maybe we don't need all those extra surges. I don't know. It is weird that it's gone, but I don't hate to see it leave either. Yep. Um, I think one of the most interesting changes though is, and I got to going back to known arsonist Richard Lavery. I got to kind of blow his mind with the change to area terrain. When we all read it, I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense to where it now blocks line of sight. And I know some other war games do this, um, up to the height of whatever the tallest thing in the area terrain is, but you can still shoot in and out of it, just not through it. But the weird thing is POIs are defined as area terrain that you cannot step in. So all of your POIs are now line of sight blockers that are taller than a small base silhouette. So there's yep. Right. Yeah, I think it's better for I think it's good for like Jedi period or most heroes in general. Um, it's definitely interesting now silhouettes block line of sight. I do think it will make building balanced tables easier from a hobby perspective. Of instead of like getting these big ships or giant crates or big buildings to block line of sight, you can now just put a felt piece down with a 6-inch tall tree on it. Um, and I think it'll make jump 1 and 2 stuff like more interesting too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do too. Right. Well, yeah. What I think it's going to be to your point, Tim. I think what it's going to mean though is it's going to open up as we make new tables, or maybe not whole entirely new tables, but new bits of terrain. I think it's going to make some more varied ways to add big line of sight blockers to maybe out of something that wasn't before to be able to spruce up those old tables a whole lot easier than going and 3D printing something that humongous. And that it's going to make a lot more of the table more interactive for more things in your army, which I'll talk about a little bit when we do my bat rep that I got to play with Brett. There was a weird piece of area terrain that was taller than an ATRT and created some strangeness. Um, sure. Well, death from above is actually remarkably easy to trigger, sadly. But that's a story for another day. Um, yeah. This is so bananas. It's but now you're gonna spam them even harder. I think it is probably worse for the clone infantry. I think it is better for ARC troopers. ARCs being able to carry around their own personal medic is nutty for 20 points. An extra ARC model for 20 points is is bananas. Absolutely bananas. Yes. That's the problem with it since now that it's a unit leader. Because they have the unit commander slot. So it is now the cheapest option to put into that slot for an ARC trooper. If it wasn't on an ARC trooper, I would 100% agree with you. Well, their purpose is now I'm an extra hit point. I'm two effect. I'm an extra die pool plus an extra restore hit point. on one of the most point efficient units in the game to make it even better and even cheaper. Yeah. That wasn't any different than it was, before the update. I don't know. I think it's very strange. I agree with you on the clone infantry. If they change it to just clone infantry only, I think we're probably in business, and it's cool there. It's super strange on arcs. But once again, those cannot go on arc troopers. My whole argument here is just about giving extra dice and extra wounds at a cheap option to arc troopers, which are already incredibly efficient. It's still two more dice and two more wounds. What they're Yeah. No, well, an arc trooper throws two dice though. Yeah, you don't have sidearm. Okay. All right. I look as always. I very much look forward to being wrong. That's Well, once again, this isn't our points update, so no one was using them. Yeah, yeah. So, so I believe, yeah, that's a huge deal. With Ahsoka, the marksman, ARFs aren't necessarily going to be a problem. I think we are firmly, despite Sleeper Cell, I think we are firmly back on the Clones Delenda S train. I think they everything on the update was good for them. And they just didn't lose anything. The few things that did get changed got better. Oh, that's true. That's true. It is a travesty. Give him a name. He's Tarful. We all know it. It should be against the Geneva Convention to put a unique dot next to something and not give it a name. Yeah. Yeah. No. No, you're wrong. You're wrong there. I'm gonna hard disagree. Um, Worlds last year, raid leader stacking suppression to win worlds. Yeah, you're on. I think you're on an island here, homie. Yeah, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, that. Yeah, not arguing with you there. Um, all right. Other than Tim being wrong, CIS. No real changes. Yeah, yeah, and it probably affects CIS. Yeah, the most. Yeah. Um, how do you feel about it? I know you played Spider somewhat, Ben, and you always gambled for the self destruct rolls. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it'll probably. I think on average it'll do more damage because you're not rolling against saves. So like you're rolling less hits, but they get no opportunity to spend dodge tokens, no opportunity to guardian, no opportunity to roll saves. Yeah, but now you're no, you're oh, I see. Because yeah, you only dealing damage on 25%. But yeah, you're at least getting suppression, um, which can yeah yeah. I think your on average your damage will probably be about the same. Um, with yeah, it is weird that like the ordnance token you are just rolling once and everybody at range is taking it, while this instructs you to roll it for every target. That's a little strange, but it's fine. It's whatever. Um, yeah. Yep. Yeah. I've only rolled two or more on my ordnance roll once. I hate that card. uh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I haven't gone through the CIS stuff as thoroughly as I probably should have, but I don't think there were a lot of changes. Um, did Maul's command cards change at all? I mean, I know they locked some command cards away from certain units, but I think they stayed the same. C, where Shadow Maul can take CIS Maul cards, but not vice versa. Um, okay, okay. Yeah, but yeah, and CIS was in a good spot. I want to say, coming into the update, so that makes sense. All right. Yeah. Well, we want to let's talk about rebels. Let me. Yeah. They had a ton happen. Yeah. Uh I don't know. Definitely need more games. There are some things I'm a fan of and some things I'm definitely not a fan of. But our commander core got we lost two commanders to where now outside of mercenaries, rebels only have four commanders now, which is weird. It's just Han, Lando, Leia, Luke, and then we've got the Pikes and Wicket. Um, Leia's 2-pip got nerfed pretty hard, in my opinion. That gives you the free speed 1 move. It is now limited to only the 2 tokens that come from the card and not any coordinator, HQs, or other order shenanigans. Uh, for the for 75 points, I think she could like her. She's not doing anything else really flary, really cool. So that was like one nice card. So I don't know. It's probably fine. But as someone, we have Rebel Vets, and I like Rebel Vets, but I'm like the only person playing Rebel Vets outside of the 20 activation list. And but speaking of commanders, let's talk about Lando while we're here. Lando got a glow up. Everything about Lando's unit card got 100% better, 100%. I'm not gonna hide that. His command cards are, I think, another story. But he got guidance trooper unit. That's dope. We've talked about how guidance, unlike Yoda or Rest in Peace Palpatine, who had a version of it, it was a little tough. But now that we're getting guidance on a 105-point unit and not a 200-point unit, yeah, exactly. Especially that Lando has gained steady, so now he can like guidance, move, and shoot, which is pretty cool. His die pool, he lost Sharpshooter 2, but gained 2 attack dice, and his range went from 3 to 2 with long shot. So you can still get it to range 3. I don't know. I think he's offense probably went pretty hard through the roof. Sharpshooter 2, losing it sucks, but I also don't think a 4 attack die gun needs Sharpshooter 2. Yeah. Printed Allies of Convenience, and then one step ahead is his big new change printed on his card, which I think is pretty cool, and I think he's going to fill the slot in a lot of my lists, although he is considerably more expensive than Leia. It's going to fill that slot that Leia's 2-pip kind of left open. Basically, when you play cards, you are always going to get to move a thing. It's just if you match pips or don't match pips will determine whether you get to move Lando or somebody that's not Lando. So it's adding some shake and bake to your army, which I think is pretty cool, because we all know how important movement is in 2.6 and getting in the right place at the right time. Or just yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. Correct. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. These command cards, they are a thing. I don't like them. No, I think it's the thing. I think it's the thing you have to take, honestly, for the divulge. Yeah. Oh, I don't think you play it either. 100%. Or the ability is gonna win you the game or not. And most games it won't, and even in the games that it might, you still may roll poorly and lose the game from it. Incognito, like infiltrate's cool. Incognito is for a commander on with a guidance is crazy. Yeah. Well, except they removed his actual gambling card. Yeah, but no, his all in card got removed, where you get to actually gamble. Um, yeah, it's 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 so bad. Could could Yeah, I mean, there's one side that gives out 2 completely immobilizing something, one side that completely immobilizes you, and then 6 sides that give out 1 token. Could be clutch, could be a nothing burger. Yeah. Two things that strike me as really strange about this card. A, it's at the start of his activation, which on a 1-pip means if you lose that roll off and they either A, kill Lando, or B, just run away, sucks instead of when he's issued the order. Um, Seems like it would have been nice. But 2, yeah, I don't know that this is the thing. If you're playing a 1-pip to try to run away from something or lock something down to get away from it so it doesn't murder you, like, I've always been a fan of, like, you should be trying to press your advantage and do your thing instead of just stopping your opponent from doing a thing, especially with a 1-pip. I can see, like, 3-pips or slower cards being a bit more defensive in nature, but on a 1-pip, that's silly. I'm pretty sure Krennic still has it. And Dooku still has it. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, we have one card that's super cunning in the zero pip, um, but and then kind of speaking of a cunning type card, his other one pip that you treat as a two pip when you're building your command hand. So you get this is the first time I think that Rebels have been able to like manipulate our pip counts other than Han. I know we've seen it in a couple other places where you treat this like Maul. Yeah, this is the first time we've seen it, and it's backwards change of plans. But you can only change your card into this card, um, and this card does nothing. Like it's a one pip that orders Lando in one unit, which is cool. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I would have loved to have seen and like give them an aim or a dodge, just a little extra cheddar instead of just because this is not the first time we've seen two orders on a one pip. Um, well, that card is dead. We'll get to there. I I mean maybe I think it's all about just I'm taking an extra one pip, so I'm having three one pips in my hand. Which isn't nothing, but I think other factions do it better with you get more pizzazz with their cards. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. Um, and then his idiots array got a complete rework. Instead of looking at the cards in your discard pile, since obviously we're not discarding extra cards with contingency, it's kind of a slower version of that where it's kind of all in and idiots array where you're now, instead of getting extra dice or extra results if you roll crits when attacking or surges when you block, you're now upgrading your attack dice if you roll the exact right things. Um, so it's okay. It's okay. Right, and other people can use this ability, which is cool. Um, so I think it's going to be kind of like a soft anti armor card because you really want to roll as many dice as possible to try to get all these extra results. So I think like Fleet Troopers with this card is going to be cool. Um, yeah, yeah, and there's a lot in the Rebel Army that isn't going to reliably roll that because we roll good dice, but usually not a lot of them. Um, I don't know. I liked All In better. It was more flavor. It was more fun. Lando as overall, Lando I think got better. His command cards are just like less neat. Mm-hmm. Yep. No, for sure. Jumping over to operatives, where rebels now have a billion options. We may only have four commanders in our army, but holy cow, do we have operatives? Operatives for days. Cassian became an operative. Jin became an operative. Uh, I thematically, I do agree. Mechanically, I I would disagree. Um, the fact that we only have four commanders is rough. That seems like a pretty cool command. Um, let's start with our boy Cassian. Now an operative, but kind of a commander. He gained the command slot we've always wanted to be able to play with. Being able to give his three pip to like Din and Sabine. The problem is I can't take two other operatives with him now that he can get the full benefit of his cool stuff. Uh, Okay. He did gain field commander. Yeah, it's still two more than me. He gained field commander so he can fill that role in list building, but he does take the operative slot for list building. Um, Gets his gun has to equip his gun, kept his danger sense, kept his infiltrate, kept his marksman, kept his, he actually gained sharpshooter because he didn't have that before, oddly enough, because he had marksman, and then gained, or kept tactical. Um, on his head, like not a ton changed, except for his slot organization, which changes a lot of rebel list building. His command cards, two of them didn't change, but one of them did, and I don't know how to feel about it. I don't think I like it, but I'm open to being wrong. His one pip got a completely new rework. So before it was you have Gunslinger, the end of your activation, take a suppression token and get a standby. So you could attack, throw four attacks per turn on his one pip turn. He still gets Gunslinger. He still gets an aim token. But now when you take a suppression token during your activation, you get to make a free attack action. And that is not an additional attack action. So it's kind of like the Boss 2-pip, where you're still limited, or unlike the Boss 2-pip, which like has the cutout, or Son of Skywalker that has the cutout that says you can attack more than one time. This just means he gets a free attack sometime on his turn. Yeah, so he's losing a net of one of. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. It's cool that it's not buried behind a standby. It's going to make him a little more mobile. It's probably better for Pistol Cassian because you can do some like peekaboo shenanigans, but worse for Sniper Cassian. It's so you can get a name token from the card, and then move, shoot at range 2, and then have 3 aim tokens to Marksman to hell and back, or so you can peekaboo for a turn. But if you could set up where you got your standby off and you had loadout, so you could, if it looked like it was a good game for it, you could load out Overwatch in. When Cassian could throw 8 dice in a round with his sniper rifle with double gunslinger, it was pretty sick. So I don't know. Side grade, I don't think it's better. I don't think it's worse. I need to play with it more. I've played one game with it. You don't have any thoughts on it? Is this Cassian more or less scary? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he you don't have to take a commander, so he still fills that role, but it fucks with list building, with what other things you can take around him. Like it really limits the hero hammer, that use that. I almost feel like Empire's the hero hammer faction now, even though they lost one of their best. That's true. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Uh, and then we got Jin, who I think even with Callus, Jin probably got the. Yeah, they do like guards. True. Uh, Jin probably saw the most substantial change, and I have zero. After playing one game with her, I have zero idea how I should feel about her. Lost quick thinking, lost danger sense, lost a wound. That's the thing that shook me the most. Staying the same cost and going down to 5 white saves. Gained agile, which is cool. Gained disengage, which is really cool. Independent move. Yeah. Um, inde- no, I think I honestly think that means you need the wound even more, because it means you're ducking and bobbing and weaving in between fights. Um, I want to say what did B2s throw in melee? Is it a red? No, but still, it's their full 2 black. It's just their 2. They changed it to melee to 2. So yeah, a group of B2s can reliably kill Jin in one shot. Okay? You say that, but she also, when you're fragile glass, I'm not even gonna call her a glass cannon because her offense isn't amazing. She's a disruptor. She's not murdering stuff. Um, she kind of needs orders, and you need to control. You know how important it is controlling when your melee units go. And if you give her yeah, but then you don't know when she's going to be able to activate. That's what I'm saying. Um, but yeah, agile, nimble, it's cool stuff. Sharpshooter, losing danger sense hurt because that I think would have added a little survivability to her. But I think the biggest loss is with her becoming an operative. You only have one Courage 3 commander, which for me was like the reason I would bring Jin is just to have a Courage 3 commander. I think her weapon profile stayed the same, except she gained, instead of doing the flippy do card, she just gets the better die pool and long shot. So instead of, well, yeah, they both had the Pierce one before, but it was black, black, white at 3 or red, red, white at 2. Now you kind of have the best of both. Yep, she did. Which there's only one card that goes in there. I think it has to be Vigilance, and it has to be her own Vigilance token at 12 points. Yeah, it is, but like if you're gonna stick her in there, you want her to be able to at least have a dodge token, and I think her loadout is probably Vigilance, situational, prepared, just to try to keep her alive as long as humanly possible. I'm with the cost of some other things. We just talked about how we're putting a 12-point upgrade on her. I think she needs it. I definitely think she needs it. When we have Ahsoka at like $110, I think she could maybe be a little cheaper. The other goofy thing with her infiltrate that I found, and with the one game I've played with her, I didn't order her round 1. So do you use the independent move to get a dodge token and move her onto the board, but then she can't infiltrate, or do you use the infiltrate and no dodge token? It was an interesting decision to make, and I'm not sure I know the right answer. 2, just 2, and then I can take K2 if I take Cassian, and he doesn't count against my limit. So I can take up to 3 if I'm taking Jin, Cass, K2. Yeah, I don't have any fancy list building rules. I don't have a Rogue One Battle Force. Yeah, you're right. Like my complaint about Cassian, if I could go up to 3 operatives, would be completely moot. And then her command cards, he stayed exactly the same, and he is solid at 75 points. Absolutely. Yeah, he's 75 with his gun. If you have Jin. Her command cards, her 1-pip does pretty much the same thing it always did, where you can get a charge move before someone else activates. It's just worded in a way that works within the way the charge rules outside of activation move, like, nonsense change. So it's really wordy, but it does the exact same thing. Trust Bows Both Ways, her 2-pip, stayed exactly the same, which is pretty cool. It may have gained Inspire. No, I think she had Inspire 2 on it before. And then Rebellions are Built on Hope got better and worse. It's 3 trooper units, so one of them doesn't have to be Jin anymore, which is cool. It gains Indomitable, and it gains Danger Sense 2 to everybody. So now Cassian and Jin both have ways to give people Danger Sense, which is dope. It keeps the ability to be suppressed or panicked, which was really cool, and I think even more important in Legion 2.6. But that clause and the Danger Sense only applies when they have a face-up order token. That to me is bizarre. Like, I get that they didn't want the ability to be suppressed or panicked to go into the scoring phase. But that was kind of like the whole point of the card, you know, your last desperate play. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like I said. I think this is a side grade. This needs more play. I don't like, before it was just the penultimate, like, this is our final turn. I play this card. You're not bullying me off of objectives. Because I held this card in reserve. I don't know. Feels weird that it goes away when you activate it. Now you're most of the time when you're playing, most factions, but I think even more in Rebels, you're ordering who you want to probably go first with before you risk the randomness of the bag, right? But now you're ordering the things that you want to go last with because you want them to sit out as long as possible, pick up as much suppression as possible, and indomitable it all the way. So I don't know. It's weird. I need to play it. I need to play it some more. It did not come out in my game I played with her. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fair. Sure, but like, I mean, to your point, yeah, she was. She was. Uh, but even looking at like the meta stuff, you don't if you when you play this card, if you have sleepers on the board and you're trying to protect sleepers by making them indomitable and giving them danger sense, you want sleepers to activate as quick as possible, to before they start to lose minis. Um, and maybe this card is going to be really clutch. I'm down 4 activations. I'm down to my last 5 acts. I've got a million pass tokens, and I just need to hold the line, and maybe it'll come out and work that way. Maybe in testing, giving them the immunity to suppression for the whole round was absolutely bonkers. I don't think it was because it never got addressed in Old Legion, partially because Jin was never played. Um, no, it was 3 before. It was Jin and 2. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. Need more data. Definitely need more data. Um, yep, yep. And I mean I agree. So Jin's interesting. I feel like she's so rock paper scissors. She's either gonna do a thing, but if your opponent has any kind of fast, Jedi or other big melee monster, I think she's just gonna get crushed. And I don't see her spot in the metagame right now of like this kind of low, relatively low damage at in melee it's just 4 black dice, at range it's 3 dice with Pierce 1. Um, I don't know what she's really supposed to be doing here. In Yeah, yeah, and, and here's the thing I don't want with that. Don't send me your list. Don't send me, hey, there's this cool list. Send me a battle report of your game with a list and how it worked out, not how in Magical Christmas Land it works on paper. Um, Yeah, if you're playing on Magical Christmas Land, then definitely send us your battle reports. Yeah, exactly. Um, so I don't know. I'm not saying Jin's bad. Don't hear me that. I don't understand how to play her. I need to play. I am definitely intrigued by her though. Keep. Yeah, you're my only hope. Because you're my only hope because they didn't fucking fix Tauntauns. Are 95 points. Yes. Yes. Yes, they can. You're right. And more defensive tech. It is absolutely insane how overcosted they are. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Lord willing. Core wise for Rebels, I don't really think anything changed. Special forces. Yeah, special forces. We got a shield, 10 points for 2 shield tokens that don't recharge. Sabine got a going back to our operative slot. Sabine got a grow up just on her shield, which was pretty cool. So it now works like Gars, where if you don't spend it, it comes back that round, which is fine. IG-11's command, or I guess he's technically in a couple armies. IG-11's 3-pip, I want to say, changed the anti-capture protocol to where it's much worse. Where you have to activate the free self-destruct if able, instead of just, it used to be you have to take the card in your hand, and you still have to do that, and now you have to blow it up if you're at that threshold, which kind of sucks. So that card's probably never getting played. Hurt. Right, yeah, and in a 5-round game versus a 6, like, there's less odds of doing that. Yeah, which sucks that it's a dead card you're forced to take. Yeah, supports did nothings, and then the biggest change of all, the Harpoon now gives an immobilized token on the Snow Speeder. Maybe. The only reason I don't know that it is because they added the free pivot whenever you move. So it's still really hard to pin somebody in the corner. It's really only great if they're broken. Yeah, no, but I think they can still pivot with an immobilized token. I would have to double check that, but yeah, it's neat. Like, I'm not mad at free cards getting little upgrades. I'm definitely not mad at that. Um, the change I really wanted to see for all of the butt guns for the T-47 is it loses arsenal and the butt guns just gain overrun. I think they're a million times more useful and cooler. Um, mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's been that way. Yeah, yeah. No, the airspeeder has come down quite a bit, but I don't. I think this was pre 2.6 points. I don't. The points haven't been touched in a long time. This is once again Ben reading cards for the first time. They are, yeah. The ion gun is pretty expensive still, at 28 for 2 black 2 white, but especially now that we lost our most reliable source of ion. Sure, yeah, it's fine. Make him free. I don't care. Um, but yeah, that's Rebels. Rebels got the most changes. They're cool. They're neat. Definitely need more testing. None of it is. I don't think any of it's bonkers. Except for Tauntaun still being expensive. But let's talk about the Empire, and then I'll do a quick run through of my first game of with Brett. Yeah, thank you. Um, It's now a useless card. Yeah. And two of the operative Luke cards have been restricted to operative Luke to make sad Commander Luke even sadder. Um, yep. Already kind of hit on that. Yeah. Gone. Yeah. Yeah, wait. Yep. Yeah. I think we already kind of hit on that at the top of this segment about that going away. Um, yeah. Yeah. Ordered with this card. That's cool. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. No, no, no. You're confusing nimble and agile. Nimble says you get your dodge token back. They're Yeah, they're getting to dodge from the card. So from the command phase, they're already going to have a dodge on them, and so for the rest of the round, they're always going to have at least one dodge token, if not more. Mm-hmm. Uh, Iden, Iden got a huge, like her. Yeah, yeah. Both guards printed that you don't have to like recover to flip. It's having high velocity on that gun on demand for when you need it is that, and it's not cumbersome, is so good. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's really good. Yeah. I've the mortar. Yeah. Yeah. Got his gun attached. Yeah, got his gun attached and got a huge point cut. Um, yeah, the fact that he's cheaper than Jin with a red save. Um, yeah, he's well, yeah. You put more stock in the surge than I think is probably warranted, Ben. No, I'm just talking about it in general. His surge crit, I'm sure I'm sure it was. Yep. Did he always have free observe too? I thought it was tied to his command cards before. Yeah, so now you're just getting like there's your surge. I don't think he had it on him, but I never saw him before. Yeah. So that's a huge upgrade. Um, him at 70, I think, is going to be a bit of a problem. Like, he's going to be a menace, and I'm excited to see what people do with him. I think they will. I think there's a lot of bah humbugs about range troopers going up by 10 points for no real reason. That sucks. Palpatine and IRG going away. I think everything else, though, they got was just better. Sure, but you're also in Empire, who has ways to generate aims typically. So I, yeah. But you actually you get a free aim every turn. You have observe too. That's essentially an aim token. Yeah, yeah. Let's go through those. Yep. It's so strong. Yep. Yeah. Um, his two pip stayed the same, I believe. Um, and his one pip got bonkers. The one pip shuts Jedi down so hard. Um, oh, it did before. Sure. Yeah. 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 And this solves your search problem. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. At 70 points is absolutely bonkers. Right. Yep. Yeah, the fact that Callus and Wicket are the same cost is silly. And Wicket so is Wicket on a white save. Um, Wicket did get a, I'm not going to say substantial nerf, although it does. Yeah, it was a pretty big nerf. He doesn't have sharpshooter anymore. We kind of glossed over that. So he's not automatically dealing a wound every turn anymore. Still 5 on a red save for 70 points is pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, sure. I will say on that regard, pull up the photo for Leia's Leia Wicket two pip teamwork card. It is the silliest looking command card. A beautiful friendship, as it has 3 Bolden words and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 symbols on it. You are reading hieroglyphics. Yes. Yes, it is. So good luck parsing that one. But yeah, no, update overall with it's going to be interesting to play. I can just kind of sum things up. We're obviously all very disappointed that units for, all the units that were removed. Especially when their replacements weren't available. I would have probably been a little more understanding if they would have pulled them when the replacements became available. So it's gonna be weird. And then I think we're super disappointed that we didn't get the points updates kind of along with these to bring some other things in line to where, yeah. No, no, we don't care. Will had an opportunity to show up on the show and talk about it, and he declined. Yeah. I don't think they got huge changes except for Black Sun working melee now. So that's it is important, but yeah. Yeah. Uh, I guess to Rebels, Sabine, her gun is now melee to 2, so she now has a piercing melee attack without the dark saber, which is neat, I guess. Um, it's not a good attack, but it's an attack. She's still too expensive. But yeah, we're mercenaries. Who cares? People who love them are going to play them. I still think they're pretty good. They're pretty viable. Not having the points update's a bummer. Not having removed units is a bummer. The glow up units are very cool, and I definitely need some time. I think especially on the rebel side to experiment with, because they are much at least Jin and Lando are much more different than anything that we've seen before. While Callus, I think you can look at him and kind of figure out what he's supposed to clearly kind of go do. Um, so yeah, it was an interesting update for sure. Um, I got to kind of quickly close this out. It won't be a show without a battle report from me. We kind of wanted to hold this because I got to play. I got the late night game with Brett, as I have been super busy with a new gig. And I messaged Brett. I'm like, Brett, I've been the odd man out or not able to make Legion the last 2 weeks. I can't show up to STABcast without a battle report. So we knocked out a quick TTS game. He played Ahsoka, Anakin, Rex 501st. With 2 laser cannon RTs, a 5 shotgun squad, and 4 ARC troopers with medics. And I took Jin, Cass, K2 to kind of get my feet wet with them. A snow speeder, a utility bus, and a smattering of 2 rebel troopers with SXs and Astromechs, and then 1 vet, 1 Mark II. So I had a 2 activation lead. We played with the new cover rules, or the new area terrain rules, which were huge because we had these 3 big pieces of area terrain that were taller than ATRTs. Oh, my list also had double sleepers because I'm apparently a degenerate now that Biston's dead. I didn't want to be, though. Let it be known I didn't want to be, but they took away my other options. I initially went into the game and I deployed Cassian in pistol mode, and I'm like, I'm going to try pistol mode out. And then ARC troopers ran up to me, and I'm like, I'm going to stand on this building with my sniper rifle and tell Anakin and Ahsoka that they can't use their deflect abilities and shoot them with high velocity. So, Cassian was cool. Jin attacked once. We played destroy enemy base, marked targets, and so she just did a lot of ice skating back and forth to like contest enemy points or defend. Brett ran his Ahsoka up super fast. He didn't have good bag control because he didn't have points for improv. So Ahsoka came out pretty early on round 1 and hid behind a POI, and then double speeded 3 at the end of, or about halfway through turn 2, but didn't play one of her cards, so she didn't have charge, so she just engaged my sleeper cell and didn't swing. The sleeper cell then withdrew, and then we murdered her with everything standing nearby. I may have overreacted a bit to the snowspeeder. It survived a little bit longer than I intended, despite me putting the cover pilot on and rolling no cover saves. it survived. I mean, ARC Troopers still eventually just shot it down with its armor 3, which felt bad. But I will tell you that I guess maybe the reason I was so adamant against the ARC medics, after 3 turns of playing, I was up by 2 VPs. I had lost a couple of I think 2 activations, and my bus was almost dead. My speeder was almost dead. A bunch of wounds kind of smattered around. On the other side of the table from with Brett had lost 3 miniatures. One of them was Ahsoka. Don't get me wrong, but then again, she's only 110 points. But anytime I would get any damage done, it was just, I'll medic that back. I'll medic that back. I'll medic that ARC Trooper back. I'll medic that guy back. And so it took me 3 turns of chewing through all of the dodges, all of the shared searches, all of the defensive tech. And then when that all failed and I actually got damage through, it's just like, I'm just going to medic that guy back. The only thing that saved the game, I did end up winning that game. It was a nail biter. It came down to 1 VP, despite the fact that Brett forgot to score one of his own POIs for 2 turns on bunker assault. Yeah, he just got so in the sauce about wanting to fight and throw hands and keep Ahsoka alive and do cool Anakin stuff and blow up my bus, that he just, for 2 turns in a row, forgot to sit on one of his POIs. So I should have lost that game pretty heartily. Both of our dice were actually pretty bad. We were laughing real hard. ARC Troopers for the first 3 turns were throwing like 6 hits, and then they went up to like an average of 9 in the last 2 turns, which was hilarious. Jin did like absolutely nothing. And I don't want to judge the game too harshly on that, because it was into mass ARC Troopers, which is not what Jin wants to be fighting. She didn't end up dying on turn 4. Cassian had a high velocity gun. High velocity is always good for shooting Jedi. It was a fun game. The ATRTs not having like their range 4 guns all the time with weird terrain. That new area terrain rule was cool. I got to use the POIs as LOS blockers with my vets, which was a lot of fun. It was a good game, but man, does Republic feel real strong right now. I don't know what Ahsoka feels like. We put her on the table. She was 110 points. She ran in, made an entire 40% of my army shoot at her for pretty much 2 turns to kill her. But she rolled 0 attack dice. But it was a fun game. Jin feels weird. I don't know how to feel about her. I need to play her into something that isn't ARC Troopers, where ARC Trooper double Jedi, where every activation that's not an ATRT can one-shot her if I'm not paying close enough attention. But it was super fun. So shout out to Brett. Thanks for the late night game to get me something to talk about. And that's kind of where I got the vibe that like Cass feels strange and weird, because he just losing the ability to make that extra attack for still just standing on a building. And I still think Sniper Cassian is the way to go. I wanted to get him more involved, but he's so squishy. Like, when you've got those short range units, it's really hard to make use of backup to like help keep him alive, and he doesn't have a lot of defensive tech otherwise. But it's cool. I'm looking forward to get more games. I'm going to try to put together a Lando list next and get him on the table to see if I can do some cool, pre command phase moves to swing games. I don't know what that's going to look like yet, but we'll see. But yeah. Yep. Oh, it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. I mean, it's It's 10 activations, double Jedi with four ARC troopers and 3 heroes. Nah, I'm I'm trying to. Not Tim. I need you to play the Vader Riot Squad quad move riots on turn 2. You seem like the guy that needs to just yeet your riots into people on turn 2 and be like, I'm. The works, yeah. It's gonna bounce again. Yeah, no, I think barring the removal of units, I think Empire's in a okay spot right now. They're all of all of the Imperialists are going to be held together with duct tape and callus, but well, before we circle back around to Ben's prediction last episode of Gungans showing up, spoiler alert, they did not. I mean, yeah. Uh, but we appreciate you spending your drive time, your pain time, whenever it is you bother to listen to us ramble. Let us know your impressions of the new update, what you like, what you don't. Pour one out of whatever your favorite beverage is for Biston and I guess Palpatine as well. The church will stand strong. We will rebuild. I will find something else to become fanatical about. We have that. We have no doubt. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he'll come back before Bistan does. Um, so until next time, I'm Ryan Slowoski, reminding you that we may have lost Bistan, but at least the Church of Pow is dead too. Just all of them. We could have gotten rid of all of them. I'm pretty sure you could still make a legal Republic list without clones. Um, Pogo's fine. He's cool. He's fine. Um, Goodbye. Yeah, Sunfax sucks. Goodbye, everyone. No one cares. We all have acrylic from other people anyway. I mean, the Church of Biston will live on in the fact that my van is a Church of Biston church bus for my speeder truck. You can like.